Okay, our first circuit in today's workout is going to be a step jump, and then we're going to follow that with a squat. Make sure you go back and warm up. We're going to do a little plyometric stuff today, a little jumping, so make sure that you're getting some small jumps, do some left foot, some right foot, okay, get some jump rope in. Make sure you try to get up on the wall here, lean, this is not a total wall, but lean back against the wall so you're supported and lift those toes. Okay, make sure you get some deep squats, really warm those tissues up. We need to ramp up into this. Some light box jumps where you're just here, boom. Light versions of what we're gonna do where we step in and jump. We set a box. I always prefer to set the box low, especially if you don't have nice foam blocks like this. If you don't have any blocks or any steps at all, we can just jump up in the air. That's gonna be fine too. If you're gonna jump up in the air, we wanna try to jump uphill if possible. So try to stand low on the side of the hill, jump up into it. We want that ground to meet us as early as possible so that we can get support in our legs. We're not pounding our back as much. It's a lot easier on our body if we go uphill. The same can be said for sprints, okay? If you're not comfortable jumping, don't jump, okay? Push yourself, and if it's something you're just like, this is gonna be hard, I don't like it, do it. But if it's something like, my knees are shot, or my hips are shot, or my back is shot, okay? If it's something that actually is gonna hurt you, don't do it, okay? Push yourself though. If it's something that you can do, go for it. I've got these nice foam blocks here. Use these. I really don't like the wood boxes. They can cause more damage. If you miss this, our ego gets bruised. We might have a laugh, and then we just move on. Okay? We're not busting our shin up. We're not ripping our shins up. We're not running the risk of hurting a knee. The wooden boxes are just not forgiving. They're good for some things that are static, but this plyometric jumping stuff, I'm not a big fan of them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our plant foot back. So I'm gonna take one step in with my left, plant it, bring my other foot. So I'm gonna start with my left foot back, okay? And we're gonna make this as smooth as possible. I wanna avoid coming here, stopping, thinking about our feelings and jumping. We're trying to use this step to get momentum. So we're gonna do one step, bring the trail foot in, and then we're gonna jump. We're gonna use all that power, throw our arms up. They always go with us, and we're gonna jump. So we got our step, jump. Okay? So in real speed, this is what that's gonna look like. Step, boom, explode. So look, even though I can jump higher than these boxes, I'm still trying to get way up here, and I'll come up and land down on the box. If you really wanna push it, you've got the equipment to stack those boxes up and really go for it. Again, if they're foam boxes, great, do it, man, go for it. If you miss, there's a lot of different ways. You can see on some of my Instagram posts how I miss. I'll land on my knees, or I just won't get it, but the foam, again, is a lot more forgiving. Okay, so full speed again. We're gonna step, bring the trail leg, use our power jump, boom, step, jump. I step back down, I get myself set, I'm ready, I'm thinking about what I'm doing, step with this leg, bring, go. Okay, I'm set, ready to go. Boom. I'm not in a hurry here. Don't try to go, okay, boom, next one. That's not how plyometrics work. We wanna make sure we're set, we're ready. We're gonna do 4 approaching with the left foot stepping, and we're gonna do 4 approaching, right foot back, right foot stepping up and in. Okay, so do 4 and 4. If you want to alternate sides, that's totally fine as well. After we do 4 and 4, we're gonna go into a squat. If you're comfortable barbell back squat, do it, go for it, all right? We're gonna try to go a little heavy, all right? Not 100%, maybe 70, 80% of your rep max. We're gonna take a 2 count down, no pause, and we're gonna kind of explode out, really throw those hips. Down, down, up, down, down, up, and try to really explode out of there. Keep those abs tight, okay? So we don't want a weight that's gonna overpower us. We wanna have plenty of strength going through it, but we wanna move it up with some power. If you're not comfortable with a barbell or don't have one, use a kettlebell. It's great. We can hold right here. It'll look like this. 2, 1 up, 2, 1 up. And see how I'm leading with my chest? What I wanna avoid is going boom, and then getting caught down here and trying to use my back to get up. So I wanna think I'm almost jumping. I don't wanna jump on this, but I wanna think I'm moving up, accelerating through the upper part, okay? So 4 jumps each side, then we're gonna step back, step with the approach leg, 1 step, 2 step, explode up. Remember, trying to jump high, always err on having a lower box. Unless you're familiar with this, unless you've done a lot of jumps, you're comfortable, you've got a good setup with foam boxes and not anything that's gonna rip your shins or knees in half, okay? Shoot for something that's a little lower than what you can do, but still try to jump up and jump high. If you don't have a box, jump uphill, jump straight up, work on your landings, okay? We're going from jumps, 8 total jumps to our squat, okay? Control the descent, boom, power up. Control the descent, power up. We're gonna do 4 rounds of that, okay? Not in a hurry. Especially coming after that squat, I want at least 2 minutes of rest after that, okay? So do your squats, rest 2 minutes. If you want 3, take 3. Come back here to your jumps, okay? 4 rounds of that. If you're just starting with this, you're just kind of getting going. Maybe do 2 rounds, 3 rounds, kind of ramp yourself up into it. But if you're ready to go, if you've been following these, man, hit it, go for 4 rounds. For our second circuit in this workout, we're going to be doing some pulls. We're going to do both a vertical pull and a horizontal pull. And then we're going to do a little bit of clean, a little bit of, we're going to work on controlling our momentum overhead, all right? So it's a sneaky overhead work, a little conditioning, total body work in there with that move as well. So this first move we're going to do is a face pull. I got this diesel strap, which is my favorite thing, maybe my favorite cable attachment. I'm slipping my hands through, holding here. I've also got a rope set up, that's really popular. A lot of folks have that. Really, our goal is to try to eliminate our forearms taking over. So don't squeeze too hard with your forearms. You're gonna have to be real intentional with this and make a lightweight heavy. So we're not gonna, you might be able to lean back real far and load up and be pushing way back here. Get your arms down low and really jerk some weight around. We're not trying to be after that. You actually want to err on the side of being with a lightweight. And I would challenge you to try to make that heavy. How do we do that? Okay, so I'm going to set up my cable at face height. If you don't have a cable set up, we'll go through that at the end. Okay, again, I've got my hands through. I have the luxury of having this diesel strap where I'm going to put my hands through and be able for the strap to hold my wrists, much like we do with the sled. Again, you can grab a rope, you can grab regular handles, that's fine. Whatever. We want to try to keep our hands, our elbows, and our shoulder all at the same height. And I'm going to rub. And look, when I'm back here in the back, everything's at the same height again. I didn't throw my head forward. I'm keeping everything tall, okay? Keeping my abs, and I'm relatively upright, okay? I've got a little bit of lean back, but if I let go of this, I should maintain my own balance. Notice how I squeeze those elbows back. I'm not thinking about hands to my chest. In fact, I'm trying to pull my hands apart as I drive my elbows back. So I'm really thinking elbows back, shoulder blades pull back, everything rolls back, and my hands are just attaching, okay? If you don't have a cable, you can get some bands and do the same thing. Be careful with the bands. If they ever break, that'll snap back and hit you in the face. That rarely ever happens, but it can happen. So be very careful with the bands. I use these crossover symmetry bands as well, right here. The other one. These things are really, really cool. You can use them for a lot of different things. Show you a basic version of what we're doing. The crossover symmetry bands always cross over. And we rotate and just pull. There's a lot of different moves we can do with these. Okay, so for today's move, just pull back, okay? These bands are probably a little safer than a regular rubber band. We can also, you can use a towel. You can use a TRX with your body. So if you have one of those, that's a good option too. I'm gonna turn this a little bit so I can show, I've got another TRX set up. So just to show you real quick, if you wanted to do that face pull version with the TRX, you would go like this. Now, okay, so that completes that. We'll do 12 to 15 of those. Now we're gonna do a TRX chin. So you'll wanna get your TRX set really, really high. As high as you possibly can. And I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna have my feet on a chair. Now this is advanced. If this was a little too hard, you would drop your feet down like this, and my butt is able to touch the ground, okay? So I'm here, and I'm gonna pull myself up. Notice how vertical I am, okay? Here, my hands can rotate. They can kind of go wherever you want them to. All right, but notice that I'm not throwing my hips up like this and then doing a horizontal roll. I'm trying to keep my biceps next to my ears when my arms are extended, and I'm trying to bring my elbows down to my side, keeping myself relatively vertical, okay? I'm not in a hurry here. I'm trying to get a big, full range of motion pull, okay? This allows you to have a little assistance while you're working on some of that upper body strength, okay? But it also allows us to get a lot of reps in and get some time under tension, okay? Turn your back around. This is a fun one. So this is a sneaky little upper body, shoulder stability, a lot of core work here, and kind of tying the upper and lower body into each other, all right? People have been calling this a Superman swing. Really, I call it a kettlebell bottoms up swing. So, feet are relatively close together for a swing especially. Hands are outside. I've got 2 blue kettlebells. If you got kettlebells, we can make this a challenge. Dumbbells work really well for this too. Just make sure you're using your hamstrings and hips to throw the weight, okay? So start off by just some light swings. Make sure you're keeping your weight forward to the toe. We don't want our toes to come up like that, okay? Our feet are active. So when you throw, push that big toe into the ground and swing those hips, okay? From from here, we're just gonna go up and catch. Little snatch, catch bottoms upside down. Back down, up, catch. Up, catch. I'm trying to drive the arms up as I catch. So, I'm using that momentum to swing my arms and stop at the top. Gotta make sure that my abs don't let myself get here. That can feel like the same thing, but it's not. We wanna make sure we get that arm up like this, and when we are at the top, to keep that bottom up on the kettlebell, we're gonna drive our hand up. You wanna rest the butt of the kettlebell here in the palm, and a little trick, notice how I'm not holding directly in the middle of that kettlebell. See the corner kind of sits in my thumb pad right there, and I hold it here on the front side. So when I'm holding down here at the side, it's that front side. I'm not totally in the middle. Bias that front side, and then when you're up, you can drive the kettlebell up, 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 up. And that drive happens from the shoulder girdle, serratus here in the rib cage. And when you keep driving, that gives us that stability, along with your abs that are holding that rib cage in place, and everything just holds on. That's actually what we're working on. Go lighter here, work on the form, catch at the top, make sure you don't hurt your back. This is not a max weight exercise, so back off the weight, get the form, make lightweight challenging. Both for this face pull, here, we keep our hands, elbows, shoulders at the same level. We'll do 12 to 15. We're gonna do our chin-ups. After that, we're gonna do 12 to 15 there too. If you stop being able to get 12 to 15, just get as many as you can, rest for about 20 seconds, and then try to get 1 or 2 more. Then, our overheads. Catch up here, try to get 10 to 12. If you're able to get some weight going with it, maybe you only get 8 to 10, that's fine, but work this, make it work for you. And be strict with yourself, film yourself, watch yourself in the mirror. Make sure you get these right. Third round, we're gonna be here. We're gonna sit down in our squat. We're gonna do a unilateral row. So I've got one kettlebell. I'm sitting down. I'm trying to squinge down. My knees can go over my toes. That's fine. I want my weight balanced front to back of my feet. Okay, so my feet are roots. They're in the ground hard. I'm dropping my butt, shooting my butt back. And notice how my spine is at a straight angle. I'm not rounded here like that, okay? I'm gonna take one side. The other hand has to be off. So I'm fighting the off balance or the offset kettlebell here. And I'm rowing. 8, 7, nice full range of motion rows. I'm not in a hurry. As I row, I have that inclination to turn. I'm having to fight that. Okay, so I'm gonna do 8 on the right, 8 on the left, just like this. Okay, then I'm gonna stand up, shake it out. You probably won't use the same kettlebell here. I'm gonna use it for demo purposes. But now I'm gonna do 12 kettlebell swings, just old school West Coast kettlebell swings, shooting the hips back, using the glutes and hams to throw the hips forward. My abs are my brakes, so they make sure that I'm not going here like that. So I throw those abs on as soon as I throw my hips with a big exhale. My abs stop me. The kettlebell's gonna be up here for a second. We rip it down, we keep it close to our body, and we're back in our starting position. To get the kettlebell going, I like to start it in front, get our nice quarter or our center stance, old school backyard football. And then I'm in to my kettlebell swing. Notice how my feet stay flat on the floor. I keep that kettlebell nice and tight. I snap my hips, and the kettlebell and the arms are just along for the ride. I do my 12, and I get out the same way that I got it. So, unilateral row, squat down. Okay, we're still here in the whole torso and legs. 8 rows left side, 8 rows right side, followed by 12 kettlebell swings. We'll take our 2 minutes, we'll go again. We're gonna do 4 rounds of this, okay? Never in a hurry, always execution before intensity. Okay, so we're throwing in a little bonus round of this one. So there's 4 circuits. This one's gonna go a little bit longer than an hour. Try to get 3 rounds at least of this in. If you can get a 4th, that's great. Try to keep moving. This one's fun. You don't really have to rest a whole lot because we're not really going super heavy on anything. We're gonna start in a runner's lunge here. We're gonna try to get as far forward as we can. So we're in the up position, we're split. I've got weight even front to back, front leg, back leg, excuse me. I'm gonna try to get my front butt cheek down to my front heel. My heel's allowed to come off the ground. That means my knees are gonna go, this is gonna be terrifying, over my toes. But we're all gonna live, I promise. We're here, we keep our torso straight, not necessarily upright, but straight. I'm gonna come forward. I'm trying to take my left butt cheek to my left heel. I'm gonna keep this back leg as straight as possible. I got a huge stretch. Keep the weight in this big toe here, and then we're pushing back off that big toe, and we'll come back up to our standing position. Again, I'm gonna lower it into my big toe here. And push back out. I'm making sure that I'm still breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth. If I need some support, I can have a wall or a bench or a stool. That's totally fine. Okay, this is tough. This is really, really challenging. So we're gonna come back in, back out. We're gonna do 10 on the left and 10 on the right. Let me grab a ball. I've got a nice med ball here. You can grab a backpack, you can grab a human, whatever you wanna do. Hold it right here. This is not much weight. I got 10 pounds. I'm gonna do a simple step back. My right foot's gonna stay forward. My left foot's gonna go back. I'm gonna turn towards my right, turn towards my forward leg, okay? Give her a big hug. Boom, and I'm trying to turn my left elbow outside my right knee. Now my knee can't move, that's not allowed. My knee's gotta stay still, and I'm trying to keep my nose over my toes. So when I go down here, my nose, knee, and toe are all in a line, and I step back up. Don't put too much weight back here. This front shin will travel forward, the knee will travel forward. Everything's gonna be over the toe. We're doing 15. Notice my cadence here. I'm not going super fast, but I'm not stopping. I'm constantly moving. And I'm doing 15 rotations on the right, then I'm gonna do 15 rotations on the left. Then I'm gonna go right to my bench. Flat bench. If you've got a hip thruster set up, great. I'm just gonna show you on body weight here. If you had a bar, you would roll the bar over top of you, knees back. I've got the bottom of my shoulder blades on the bench, and I'm gonna pivot as I use my glutes, my hamstrings to push up. I've got the bar here, the dumbbell here. If you don't have any of that, set a kid there, whatever you want, okay? Squeezing my glutes, squeezing my abs. As I pivot up, my chest is gonna look at the ceiling. As I pivot down, my chest is gonna be forward. Squeeze the glutes, we're up, looking at the ceiling, down, we're looking forward. Just make sure that my spine doesn't move, because a lot of folks will start doing things like this. All right, we'll start bending at the spine, and that won't, A, won't get us anything that we want, B, it might hurt us. So pivot on that spine stays still, it just changes the angle at which it is allowed. So we go our runner's lunge, knee over toe, really working that front hip down to the heel, keeping the weight in the big toe, pressing back out. We do 10 each side. We have the internal rotation, so stepping back, turning, keeping that knee, nose over the toe, and then we'll do our hip thrusters as well. You'll run through 3, 4 rounds of that. Have fun with it, kids. Get some.